When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Skims or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. It's home of ShopPay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/income.
Hey, everybody. You can help us make Chris DeMakes a podcast even better by telling us a little bit about yourself. Go to surveymonkey.com/r/JDZ3HL7 for a quick listener survey. It only takes a couple minutes and it helps support our team. To show our appreciation, we're giving away 2 $50 gift cards to lucky participants every single month. Head to, go ahead and grab a pen, surveymonkey.com/r/JDZ3HL7 now for your chance to win. Hey, everybody. Chris DeMakes a podcast producer. Chris Fafali is here. This week, instead of a Throwback Thursday episode of Chris DeMakes a podcast, I thought we'd do a throwback of an after party episode. For those of you who don't know, the after party is our weekly bonus episode that we release to members of our Patreon. At this point, we've done over 250 episodes of the after party, all of which you can access by signing up over at chrisdemakes.com. Not only do you get tons of fun episodes to listen to, plus a new episode of the After Party every week, you also help pay a few bills for us over here to allow us to keep making this show and putting the time and effort into it to make it good. If you're already a member of our Patreon, we appreciate it a lot. And if you're not, maybe check out chrisdemakes.com. Even try it out for a month. It's the money equivalent of buying Chris and I a coffee each month because you enjoy the show. And in return, we give you lots of great pods, just like the one you're about to hear. This is an episode that we released back on March 24th of 2025, and I thought this one was pretty funny. Basically, Chris and I each give each other 5 really strange songs to check out, and then we discuss them. That's all there is to it, but I think you'll enjoy this. Once again, if you're feeling generous and you enjoy what we do here, please check out chrisdemakes.com. And in the meantime, enjoy this episode of The After Party.
Welcome to the after party. Ready, set, let's go. Welcome to the after party, the show after the show. Learn a little something new. Join us for the ride. Chris and Chris want all of you to know. The after party's where it's at. The show after the show.
Well, hey everyone, it's time to party. And Chris, before we start, we recently talked about video games. And I got to tell you, you kind of brought up video games out of nowhere. I haven't really thought about them in a long time, especially the vintage ones. My kids are into some of the newer video games, Roblox and things. But I got to tell you, for the past couple days, all I've been doing is driving down the road and hearing the sounds of Frogger and all these video games come rushing back to me. So it's been pretty cool. And then I was sitting around thinking, you do the bulk of the work here, thinking of after party things to talk about. And I thought that, you know what, I got to show up to the party with at least a 6-pack today. And I don't even know how this really evolved. I was thinking of weird songs, and then I was like, well, they could be weird for an artist, not necessarily a weird song, just like, why did this artist record this? Could be weird time signatures. Could be whatever you deem as weird. And I said, hey, Chris, you pick 5 and I'll pick 5 and we will compare notes. And I got to tell you, The 5 you picked are great.
Yeah?
I have not heard the last one you picked, the last one on the list. I've seen I've seen memes and snippets from that. I didn't know what that was from.
Okay.
I think I've heard snippets from the song too, but I never listened to it as a whole piece of music. And wow, that's something.
Yeah. Hey, you had me at let's exchange weird songs that the other person may not have heard, because I could have given you a list of 100. Narrowing it down to 5 songs to send you was like, what am I going to do here? But I think I picked a good 5, and I think you picked a good 5 too, Chris. The first song that you sent over to me. Now, we've talked about this band before, I guess because maybe in a discussion about Canadian music or something, but you sent me a song called Sign Here by Chilliwack.
Its past and future does hereby covenant to pay promptly. At any such rate as company may decide, call out a day.
Sign here, become a millionaire.
Which this song starts with this long, a lot of the songs you sent me start with a very long sort of like intro, this long chanting over low piano notes and church bells. And I thought that this might have been a first track on an album. Was I right about that? Do you know where this landed on the album?
Yeah, this was the first track on the record. And a little backstory. I've talked about Chilliwack before, and Chilliwack is a province outside of British Columbia, or it's inside of British Columbia in Canada, which I've actually had a day off in Chilliwack one time. But the band was played in Southwest Florida. They had a song called Gone, Gone, Gone. My Girl was the name of the song. And the B-side to the 45 was Sign Here, which, why would you lead your record off with a B-side? And I never knew what the song was about as a kid. I just thought it was the oddest thing ever. It starts, like you said, with this chant piece, and then it goes into like this kind of bad Jackson Browne impersonation, and then it has this end part.
Yeah, I was going to say that it almost, once it actually kicks in, I was like, okay, I like this. This reminds me of like, it put me in the mind of like Michael McDonald or something. And it seemed to me like the song is something that Jellyfish would do. I don't know. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I never knew what it was about. And I'm reading the lyrics, and basically it's about a band signing to a major label. It's tongue in cheek. The lyric is, "Where's the undersign? Is pledged to abide by the terms herein, and with respect to all debts past and future, does hereby covenant to pay promptly." You know, and then the chorus goes on to say, "Sign here, become a millionaire." It's the refrain of the song. So really kind of silly that hey, we're gonna write about our recording contract or what it takes, but weird cool song. I yeah, it's kind of cool. It's more so that it's broken up into 3 songs. And we've talked about this before, Chris. I marvel at the fact of someone sat down and connected these 3 pieces together. How did someone's brain work that way? And that's why I wanted to lead with Sign Here.
This song I thought was interesting because there's a lot of chord choices that I wouldn't make. In places it goes almost like a progressive song. And also, this album it's on, it's called Wanna Be a Star. It's the band's 9th album, so they definitely put in put in the work. But this album went platinum in Canada. And quiz for you, Chris, how many albums do you have to sell in Canada to be considered platinum?
I believe 100,000?
It's 80,000.
80,000.
80,000.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like a lot to go platinum in Canada, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. What do you got? I say, what do you got? I know what you got first on the list.
Yeah.
I know both of these artists. I had not heard this song. I like this song a lot, and I'll tell you why, but talk about it. What do you got?
Well, I sent you Bjork, Where is the Line? Now, this song features Mike Patton of Faith No More fame. And Chris, I wanted to tell you, you might not realize this. This is an all-vocal song. It doesn't sound like it, but it's all vocals. The whole album, Medulla, is all vocals. And do you know who is providing the beat on this song? It's beatboxing.
I thought it was Patton.
No, the beatboxing on this song is Rozelle, who you guys played a show with in like Allentown or something. And I came to that show. We were on tour and we came and saw you play with Rozelle, he was originally in the Roots, you know, and he's like one of the best beatboxers in the world. And it was my birthday, and I have a picture of JR giving me my first ever beer bong at this show that you guys played with Rozelle, wherever it was. But this song is Rozelle as the beatbox, Mike Patton's the low, like, where is the line with you vocals. And then she also has like a choir of Icelandic women singing in this song too.
Well, you can hear like the shotgun snare. You could definitely tell it's a mouth. There's a lot of compression on it. Like I say about you know that, but it's incredible what they've done here. The textures and the beat. Okay, I didn't listen after the second. I listened to it twice, or actually a couple times, 3 times. The second time I listened to it, I just zoned in on what the beat is doing rhythmically. There's a song there. It's everything around it and where it weaves in and out that doesn't make sense and makes you feel schizophrenic as a listener. If you just listen to the beat of the song, there's a song there. What a cool concept.
Dude, and she does melodies that, I don't know, it's her and Mike Patton doing it together. She's the writer. But melodies that no one would ever do. Like the one I always think of in this song is, where is the line with you? Where is the line with you? Like, it's so weird. And Chris, if you haven't seen it, this song has the grossest music video I've ever seen. It's Björk dressed in all like a dress made of sandbags, and she's in a barn and she's giving birth to a convulsing naked human that's covered in like white sticky stuff. It is the most disgusting music video. And I don't know. I think there's a reason why she's my favorite artist. She's just outrageous and amazing.
Yeah, I wrote that the end of the tune, it's like a Gregorian chant mixed with Space Invaders. It's just so, it's just so like, how'd you think of this? It's funny you mentioned the videos. I think down the road we should do the same thing with videos. Yeah. We may have done a concept like that before, but I will say I almost told you to watch the video for my next pick.
I did.
I don't know if you saw it. Oh, you did?
I
okay,
did.
because that kind of makes the song. It really does.
Yeah.
The next pick I have, I did not like this band in the 80s. The record I'm speaking of came out in 2006. It was called Monotheist. The band is Celtic Frost. The song is called A Dying God Coming Into Human Flesh. What'd you think of the song?
I listened to the song while watching the music video. That's how I experienced it for the first time. It kind of goes right along with the Björk video, to be honest. Like, the guys look like monsters in this music video. Another song with this long, low, epic intro with like low notes and feedback. Very sludgy and like builds a lot of tension and a lot of mystery that lead to these parts that are insane. These parts where they kind of come out of nowhere and you're like, whoa, okay. I wouldn't even necessarily know what is going on here. But yeah, I mean, this is exposing me to the world of Swiss heavy metal, Chris.
Well, I'll tell you, I had friends that loved these guys in the 80s. You go listen to the 80s records, they're unlistenable. They're bathed in reverb and it just, I don't know, just Yeah, there was some songs and some pieces that were decent. This thing, though, when I heard this, I was like, "This is wow!" An '80s band that can like really reinvent themselves. I thought it was pretty creative. Talk about sludgy. I mean, it doesn't get much slower than that intro. So I'm glad you found a little bit of humor in it. And I think next time when we do this, we definitely have to watch the accompanying videos, because if it's a weird song, chances are it's going to be a weird video.
Yeah, I did for all the songs you sent me. But speaking of music videos, this one has a music video too. The next one I sent you, I don't know if you saw it or not.
I did see this one. Yes.
This is Death Grips, No Love.
Not on it, leaning so hard you're ashamed. You can't dismiss the sick transmission, huffs your brain. Exhale your will and forget.
I became aware of this band. They've been kind of like a cult favorite sort of band for a long time. And I became aware of them because of our podcast. I was doing research about like outrageous moments in music, and they had one of them. And I looked into them more, and I'm like, this is so up my alley. It's so punk and like noise rock, and always like these weird avant-garde sort of performances, and the music video for this is one of those. It's very avant-garde noise rock, I would say.
Yeah, another pick of yours. I really like this one.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I wrote, it's 5 minutes and 3 seconds of ambient trip hop trap house noise tension. It never comes to a head, really. The melody and the vocal structure is intense.
Yeah.
Reminds me a little bit of Bob Villain. I don't know if you remember that video I sent to you.
Okay.
It's got that like kind of distorted vocal and just angry.
Yes.
And it angry but believable. We've talked about that word before. You believe that, wow, this guy's pissed off.
That is a good way to put it. And I think that music like this is like what is actually punk nowadays or something, to like completely abandon any thought of like, we got to write a catchy melody or we got to whatever. But when I listen to this band, like if I'm on the treadmill, I want to run through the wall. I love when music makes me want to just fight or something, it makes me want to like run into the street. I love it. This is a Sacramento band. They're a 3-piece. Mm-hmm. Sacramento, I kind of feel like there's some pretty good music that's come out of Sacramento. Deftones, Far is from Sacramento. Mm-hmm. Spiral Staircase, who sings More Today Than Yesterday. The Cramps are from Sacramento. Cake. And I don't know. There's something in the water there that makes people create some music that gets me fired up, like Deftones and
yeah. No, I dig this band. I love the fact that there, like you said, there isn't a chorus. It's not like one standout hook,
right?
And that kind of inspires me to write something that's kind of linear, that doesn't, kind of like Linoleum from NoFX, something in our world doesn't have a real chorus. So that's pretty cool. Looking to elevate your music career? DistroKid is a digital music distribution service that enables musicians to distribute their music to online stores and streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Amazon, Tidal, and many more. DistroKid collects earnings and payments, sending them to you, the artist. With DistroKid, artists unlock a world of possibilities. From easily paying collaborators with splits to securing your music with DistroLock, DistroKid covers all bases. Plus, you can promote your releases with Hyperfollow and create eye-catching visuals with a Spotify Canvas generator, all for free. But that's not all. Introducing the DistroKid app, now available on iOS and Android. Artists can manage their releases, view streaming stats, and withdraw earnings, all from the palm of their hand. And for those looking to perfect their sound, check out Mixia. With its simple interface and customizable mastering options, artists can make their music sound polished and professional within minutes. And don't forget about Instant Share, DistroKid's newest feature. Share large files securely with collaborators, producers, and more, ensuring your music streams at the highest quality. Ready to take your music to the next level? Download the DistroKid app and explore their suite of tools today. Plus, listeners can enjoy 30% off their first year by visiting distrokid.com/VIP/DeMakes. That's distrokid.com/VIP/DeMakes.
I'm Bruce Martin, host of Pit Pass Indy. Each week, I go behind the scenes of the NTT IndyCar Series and introduce our listeners to the biggest stars of IndyCar, which features the Indianapolis 500 as its cornerstone event. The men and women that compete in IndyCar may be the bravest athletes in all of sport, as danger lurks around every corner. They are able to look danger in the eye without flinching. That is why the NTT IndyCar Series features the best racing on the planet. Join me every week as we talk to the stars of IndyCar, including the legends of the Indianapolis 500 on Pit Pass Indy from Evergreen Podcast.
My next one is absolutely ridiculous.
It is. I didn't know what was going on here because, first of all, it's a Van Halen song called How Many Say I.
Yes, when you just don't know, and then say I love you, but aren't willing to show. How many say I? How many say I? How many say I? How many say I? How many?
And when I think of Van Halen, you know the first thing I think of, well, maybe I think of David Lee Roth dancing around or something, but other than that, I think of the guitar work, okay? And
Yes.
There aren't any guitars in this song. It is piano and a voice I did not recognize, and there's a reason I didn't recognize that voice, right?
Yes, this was on the ill-fated 1998 Van Halen 3 record with Gary Cherone singing. However, Gary, and that's Gary Cherone from the band Extreme, More Than Words Extreme. Gary sings backup on this track. This is a lead vocal by Eddie Van Halen. It's kind of Tom Waits-ish sounding. It's just him and a piano, and they just hit some sour notes. Him and Gary Cherone, they hit it like sharp. It's like, whoa, how did a producer let this go? And I'll tell you how. Do you know who produced the record?
I don't.
Why? I'm assuming Eddie like saw this guy in the parent pickup line at school, or I don't know, maybe went to 12-step meetings with him or something. But it was produced by Mike Post, who wrote TV theme songs like Hill Street Blues.
Wow. What an interesting choice for a band that probably could have worked with literally any producer they wanted to.
Like I said, I think that Ed just made friends with him somewhere in the community. I was like, oh, Mike Post, you're going to produce the next record. This song is absolutely hilarious. It's what I would call, the whole record's kind of a stain on the Van Halen catalog and legacy, but yeah, it was riveting when I first heard it, and poor JR, I subjected him to the whole album one time driving to Atlanta from start to finish, and it's a laborious listen. Chris, your next pick is great. I watched some video for this. I don't know if it was the official video or not.
I don't think they made an official music video for this song.
Okay, then I saw one that was kind of cartoon based that was absolutely hilarious. The song is called Big Fat Fuck by Ween. I'm pretty familiar with Ween's catalog. Didn't know much about that. I actually didn't know anything about this song. Never heard it.
Big fat fuck. Feeling like a big fat fuck. Big fat fuck. Feeling like a big fat fuck.
I've told this story so many times, but when this album came out, which is called Shinola, it was a 2005 like B-sides compilation from Ween. I'll never forget that my friend Jers called me and he's like, dude, I got the new Ween. You got to hear it. it's got 3 of the worst songs I've ever heard in my life on it, and Big Fat Fuck was one of them. And it's basically a whole song of like this deep funk groove that is just rolling like a big fat fuck, and I was like, I absolutely love this. And this Shinola comp does have some Ween songs I absolutely love. It has a song called Boys Club that's incredible. But I looked at the genius lyrics for this song, and I love the explanation of this song, Chris, which is, the singer feels like a big fat fuck, explaining lyrics such as big fat fuck, feeling like a big fat fuck, and big, fat, and fuck.
Yeah. That's the whole song. I didn't have much on this in terms of notes. I just wrote, it sounds like sludgy audio diarrhea. What they managed to put down on tape, it's like, how do you create this? It's just like, and it sounds to me like they could have been on, both of them on acid at the same time when they wrote this. That's what it sounds like.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it one bit. And it is the soundtrack. I saw someone comment this, the soundtrack of when you've eaten too much. And you're just sitting around. It definitely has that feeling. And why not write a song for that feeling? I think this is the only song I could think of like that. So
I don't think they were talking about eating too much pizza. I think it was eating too much acid. But
okay, sure. just yes, secured to the chair, not moving, feeling like a big fat fuck. Yes, very good call.
Yeah, it sounds like someone's having a psychosis, and they were somehow able to take the cord from their brain into a tape machine and record what they were hearing. It's a bizarre tune, and we can't put anything past Ween, though, right?
That's right. Chris, the next song you sent me, you warned me beforehand, and I think we may have talked about this song before. It's a song called "Save the Week" by a band called Brittany Fox.
I'm feeling bad, I'm feeling sad. Let's lend a helping hand. Oh, say, save the week. With a little love, it's all the need.
This song feels like a parody of someone on a show trying to write a song for a cause, but knows nothing about the cause.
It's just so embarrassing. And this was 1988. It was around the time that I checked out from this kind of hair metal. It just was so derivative. Bands were writing songs about everything from, save the whale causes to suicide to, in this case, I don't even really know what this is about.
Well,
maybe,
Chris, I don't think they know what it's about either, because
starving children, maybe.
Dude, here's what I thought about it. With lyrics like, I'm feeling bad, I'm feeling sad, let's lend a helping hand. They mentioned children starving and lonely in this song. I feel like they put the least amount of effort possible into trying to write a power ballad about uniting the world. It's as if they had once heard that somewhere on Earth a kid had starved with no more info about that. Like, basically, someone's mom had said, you better finish your dinner. There are children starving in the world. And just did no more research and spent 2 minutes writing a song, and this is what came out.
Well, the 80s were like that. A lot of famine commercials back then. And I could see this guy, the singer, sitting around one night and be like, oh, that's a good idea for a song. The verse lyric is, take a look at what you have and the things you own. Mm-hmm. Okay, I have a guitar and I have a shirt. Okay. And thank God that you've grown. Children starving and lonely. No place to go. I really feel that there's hope. You do?
I just love that. I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling sad. Let's lend a helping hand. Yeah. This is, I don't know. I would say this song is horse shit. That's how I would describe this song.
It is unbelievably bad. Do yourself a favor if you're listening and don't listen to it.
Yeah.
Chris, your next pick. This song was really interesting to me out of your 5 picks, and we'll get into that.
It's a song called FMRN by Lily Is That You.
I'll choke it down, say anything when you're around. Say anything and I'll make that
right now. Never to home, my bed's too loud. I can take it on the ground. If I get too loud, you can shut my mouth. Got me like, yeah, yeah, got me like, yeah, yeah,
Now, of course, FMRN stands for fuck me right now. Can you come fuck me right now? This girl is from Toronto. She started writing songs at age 13. She signed to Warner Brothers after the success of this song in 2021. She blends pop, alternative, and electronic influences in her music. I love this song, actually. I heard it on a TikTok, and I remember this song supposedly getting banned on TikTok. People were using this song a lot, and for some reason or another, it got banned. And she's really interesting, Chris, because all of her songs, which I like a lot of her songs, they're all a minute and a half to 2 minutes long. They're never longer than that. And it's just interesting to me, how boldly sexual songs are now, and I don't know. I think it's, what were your thoughts on this song?
Well, I put very interesting vocal delivery and the layering of vocals. There was some skips in there. Mm-hmm. It was definitely altered and messed with it in a really cool way. Over kind of like an R&B dance pop tune, kind of techno-ish, how you described it. But I felt this was the most normal song out of your 5. It didn't really strike me as, I'll tell you what I did do though. I got 15, 20 seconds into the video and I stopped looking at the video. I just closed my eyes and listened to the song. The video is her and another girl laying in bed in underwear, kind of looking cutesy. It really lends itself to the song, but I didn't want the visual I just wanted to listen to the song, and the song's kind of out of the 5, it was the most normal sounding to me.
Yeah, it's normal sounding, but I think the line that I went with all these songs was, I love songs that I can imagine. Sometimes it might even be a song that my instincts are to not like at first, but I love just the punk in me. Songs that I could picture some, conservative person clutching their pearls to it. Oh my God, what is this? And when we get to my last song, that might be the most pearl clutchy of all these songs. But yeah,
oddly, I didn't get that overt vibe from it. When I just listened to the song, if you watch the video, those overtones, everything is shooting out at you, but it wasn't hit you over the head like your last pick is, but right. which we're going to talk about in a minute. My last selection, oh man, what do you think of this one? It's so cheesy. It's just so bad.
This song is Neil Diamond's "Headed for the Future."
show you how.
1986.
I'd never heard this song. I didn't know Neil Diamond went in this direction at any point in his career. Chris, this song actually hit number 53 on the Hot 100, by the way.
Reason being is because 6 years prior, he was the biggest thing. He had that movie, not coming to America, The Jazz Singer with the song America. It was big, man. That movie was on HBO. He was a movie star, and he released a record, I think, called Heartlight in 82. The title track was a big hit for him. But then he released a record in like 84. My dad bought it. We listened to it in the car. It was called Primitive. It was awful. And then this record. And I remember hearing this song. I think it's the lead-off track, Headed for the Future. And so many bands, again, like jumping on the charity wagon and writing songs like Britney Fox. So many bands it was a really futuristic thing. You know, Prince was writing about 1999 and, you know, we're always thinking ahead, and just everything about this song sounds just horribly dated. Even then, when I would listen to this, it was just, here's this middle-aged Jewish man from Brooklyn singing over like a track that like Oingo Boingo wouldn't even release.
Dude, his choice of synth sounds are so bad. And I love that this song is the title track of the album. Like, a lot of times the title track, you assume it's going to be the best song on the album. It is scary to think how bad the music must be on this album.
Oh, I was going to say, he had co-writers on this song that I'd never heard of. It's just, there's no substance here, Chris. Hey, we're headed for the future. Give us some room. We're going to build a new world. Say, we're headed for the future. Just in a song going, say, like, gee golly, Beaver. Yeah. Say, we go to the store.
It's good that you say that, because I felt like this felt like kids' music almost, but for like really little kids. Like, once you're 10 years old, even a 10-year-old would be like, this is lame. This isn't good. I don't know what kind of future Neil Diamond was imagining, especially with his music, but man, we dodged a bullet with Neil Diamond's future. Whatever you think of right now, Neil Diamond's future, I think, may have been worse.
Hey, man, and I love some Neil Diamond. Don't get me wrong. This was not a crowning moment in his career. All right, last but certainly not least, Chris's final pick is called Pound Town from Sexy Red. Wow, this is something.
I'm out of town, thuggin' with my round. My coochie pink, my booty hole brown. Where the niggas? I'm looking for the hoes. Quit playing nigga, cause suck a bitch soul.
This was Sexy Red's breakout hit in January of 2023. Chris, same old story. This song became big on TikTok, specifically because of the standout lyric of this song, which I'm sure you know is Pound Town, I'm going to Pound Town. My coochie pink, my booty hole brown. That was the line that made Sexy Red a household name in a lot of households. Chris, this song went to number 66 on the Hot 100. Got her signed. I think she signed to a major label. Yeah. She's a St. Louis rapper, dirty rap. At first, my instinct is to be like, oh, this is terrible. But then, on second thought and a few more listens, I'm like, I know I describe a lot of things as this, but I'm like, this is punk rock. This is fucking in your face, just the most sexual, dirty lyrics, and almost like off the beat in certain ways, like kind of falling off the beat in a way that's just like, I don't know. I just feel like it's pretty punk. I like it.
It's really no different than what Two Live Crew were doing. They were singing about, and this is a female doing it. It almost smacked of AI vibes too, because I'll tell you, I was researching, I was typing an obscure weird song. Just kind of wanted to see what was out there besides the five I picked were off the top of my head, but I was seeing some AI stuff. One was really believable from like 1963. It was like a girl, like kind of Motown Supremes type band. The song was called Swallow This.
Okay.
So this kind of almost felt like, oh, this could be AI generated. All I wrote from my notes was, besides the obvious of the lyrics and the tune has a Michael Myers kind of horror movie vibe to the sequence and the feel of it almost kind of suspenseful. And Chris, the best part for me, really, outside of the lyrics of this song, were the YouTube comments, and I wrote a few of them down.
Okay.
Have you seen these?
No, I cannot wait for this.
Okay. Great song. I set it as my alarm now, and now I have to wake up an hour earlier to stop it from playing. The next one was We Embarrassing God with this one. And the last one, there was a bunch of really funny ones, but this was my favorite. 1996, Tupac dies. 1997, Notorious B.I.G. dies. 1998, Sexy Red is born.
That's incredible. Dude.
But
could you imagine?
I liked it.
I like it too, but could you imagine making these 10 songs into a playlist and listen, and this being your playlist for the day? You might lose your mind, but I don't know. I encourage it. I encourage losing your mind to these 10 songs.
I think we have to do this again. I had a lot of fun.
Me too.
Where is the line with you? Where